What is up, guys? Welcome to the Lawrence Likes Hoop NBA show. I'm your host, Lawrence, and today I want to talk about players that I think will break out next year and take a big step in their game. So for the first player that I want to talk about, it's a guy from Pacific Northwest. Oh, he's not from the Pacific Northwest. He plays for a team in the Pacific Northwest, so I'm showing love to him. But it's Anfernee Simons. He's about to enter his 5th year for the Blazers. Just signed the bag for 4 years, $100 million.
Tell him to bring me my money.
I mean, if you don't know how he plays, he's in the same mold as Jordan Poole, Tyler Herro, guys who are great six-mans, but can also be great starters in this league. For the season last year, he averaged 17 points and 4 assists. But before the January mark, before the midseason mark, in the first 3 months, he only averaged 12 points. And that's when Dame was still playing. But once Dame went down with the abdominal injury, Simons really took that step. He really showed that he can be a good player in this league, a good scorer in this league. He upped his point average to 24 points. And I feel like that's not talked about enough. He was by far the best player on the Blazers. He took control of that team. I mean, obviously they didn't make the playoffs, but he showed that he's gonna be a guy for the future, and that's what stamped him was with that contract. And also, man, he shot very efficiently. He shot 44% from the field overall, and from three he was 40% from three. On 7 attempts too, he was a volume shooter. And also, when it came down to 2-point attempts, he averaged 49% from the field, and I think that was a big step in his game, because before this he was just shooting spot up threes. Whenever he had an open shot, he was slinging those threes. Chauncey Billups challenged him to take more 2-point attempts, to get to the rack, to get to the mid-range. And you can see with his athleticism, he can certainly get there. And when we talk about those other two players that are in the same mold, Jordan Poole, Tyler Herro, what separates him from those guys is his athleticism. He can jump out the gym. He just needs to fill in his frame more. He needs to get bigger, because on the defensive end, he does get attacked. And I think that's another step in his game that he can take, is just fill in his frame, make a bigger effort on defense, especially that he's going to play in the backcourt with Dame. And I believe he can surprise some people this year by averaging 20 plus points. He's more comfortable. He just signed that big deal. He's going to be really good this year. He's going to have high efficiency like he had last year, I believe. And the Blazers, hopefully they have a better season next year. And with that, people are going to notice how much of a better player he's gotten. He's going to really solidify himself as one of the elite scorers in this league. And I was also able to watch the Blazer game over last year when they played the Warriors in Portland. Dame was out. I believe Norman Powell was out. But he was really the main guy. He was the main guy that the Warriors focused on. So they had GP2, Gary Payton II, guarding him the whole game. This is one of the premier defenders in this league. He was even picking him up full court. And this guy, I mean, he looked composed. He wasn't rushing. He was taking good shots. He ended up with, I think, 24 points. He was 50% from the field. I think he had 3 threes. I was impressed seeing him live. I mean, he looked really good out there. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what Anfernee Simons will do next year, especially being, with Dame, and they're going to be competing again. Hopefully they're going to be in a playoff spot. But yeah, Anfernee Simons, he's definitely a most improved candidate. He's going to surprise some people this year. All right, so the next guy that I want to talk about is the former 7th pick of the 2022 NBA draft. It's Mr. Jonathan Kuminga on the Golden State Warriors. I would say that I'm a Warrior fan, so I keep up with everybody on the team. And I was able to watch Jonathan Kuminga. I watched the Warriors live this year. In the games that he showed up in, the games that he played in, you could see the potential. You can see the star potential in him. In 17 minutes this year, he averaged 9 points, 3 rebounds, on 60% true shooting. And that's pretty elite, because the average is about 56%. And I saw he was like top 50 when it came to that. It was near Steph. Steph was like 60% as well. So yeah, that was pretty solid in the minutes that he played. So obviously, he only averaged 9 points this year. But from February to April, the Warriors were hit with the injury bug. Draymond was out. I mean, Clay was in and out of the lineup because he couldn't play back-to-backs. Steph was out too as well. He averaged about 12 points in those games. He saw his minutes go up, and that was more opportunity for him. And when I look at his game, I just no one is stopping him when he goes to the rack. I mean, like I said, he has that elite finishing ability with his athleticism and strength. And he showed that he's not afraid to shoot it. I mean, he's a wing player. He's going to have to shoot it eventually. But this year, he showed that he's going to shoot a 3. He was only 33% from 3. But as he looks more comfortable, he looks like he's trying to get more comfortable with his shot as the season went on. But as he gets more comfortable in this league, as his role expands with the Warriors, he's going to knock those shots down. I believe that percentage will go up to at least 35 to 37%. And it's going to be really scary because you're going to have to respect his jump shot. And once you do, he can get past you. He can dunk on you. You know, I'm gonna put some clips in here.
There's 6 Clippers in double figures tonight. Kuminga! Team Warrior games are on the road.
But his athleticism, like I said, I can't talk about it enough. If you were just like a casual fan who didn't keep up with the Warriors this year, in the games that he played, in the games that he got in, I mean, you can see the 3-and-D potential. You can see the athleticism. He could be like a Jalen Brown in this league. He has that defensive potential to be like Ben Simmons, where he can guard 1 to 5. He can be a really unique defender. You know, it's going to be exciting how he progresses in this league, how he plays next year, because I believe next year that he's going to have a bigger role. I mean, you have the departures of GP2, Otto Porter. Those are guys that play in his position, guys that are wings, guys that defend. He's going to be big as the Warriors defend their championship. The last guy that I really want to talk in length about is Keldon Johnson, the Kentucky product for the San Antonio Spurs. This is a guy who came into his own last year, but upping his point average from 13 points to 17 points. And I believe a big part of the elevation in his game was just him being a perimeter threat. He showed that he can be a reliable three-point shooter in this league. He took more threes this year from 2 to 5 and was able to knock down 40% of that. And that's pretty elite. I believe this year is going to be a big opportunity for him because they just have the departures of DeJounte Murray, who's going to the Hawks, Lonnie Walker, who's going to the Lakers, and Derek White, who left last year for Boston. These were the 3 primary ball handlers for the team. And Keldon Johnson, now that they lost those guys, they're pretty young at the point guard position. He's going to be the primary ball handler. So this is going to be an opportunity. He's going to get more reps, get more experience as being that guy who's going to bring up the ball. Be a guy he's going to be their best player. He just got the bag this year. I think it was 4 for $80 million. And he's going to be a guy that's going to have to create for himself, create for others. And this is a year where he can really show us that he's an all-star talent. Like I said, him being able to shoot the ball was already big. He can finish, and just having that shot creation, having that playmaking ability. And defensively, he's already solid. I mean, he was a plus defender playing at mostly the 4 this year. If you know Keldon Johnson, he's like 6'6", so he's relatively undersized. But he was a plus defender, which is good, but there's still room for improvement. He can still stay in front of guys. He can still cause more problems for guys down low. If he can become a legit defender, he'll be a legit 3-and-D player, which is going to be very exciting. Like I said, I'm going to be watching more of Keldon Johnson this year. This is a guy who has all-star potential, and this is a beautiful opportunity for him. And then some other guys we can talk about. I mean, I talked about Jalen Smith in a previous video, and he's going to have a big year. He averaged 13 points when he was with the Pacers last year. He's going to take a big step this year. He's going to be a full-time starter for the Pacers. So he's going to have more on his plate, and, you know, he's going to get more reps. Another player is THT, Taylor Horton-Tucker, a guy that we've all kind of been waiting for him to have that breakout year. And obviously with the Lakers, you know, it's tough playing with LeBron because LeBron's going to be the primary ball handler. You're going to mostly be in the corner, be a shooter. I mean, we've seen that. And now that Taylor Horton-Tucker's with Utah, he's going to have the opportunity to be, you know, a primary ball handler, a guy who can create his own shot, and that's who we know him as. You know, he's not a spot-up shooter. He's a guy who gets to the mid-range, gets to the rack. He's a guy who can create a shot, and it's going to be exciting to see what Taylor Horton-Tucker does next year. Another guy that I believe that people are really sleeping on is Ben Simmons. Okay, so he's a 3-time All-Star, so he already kind of broke out. But this is a guy whose stock is relatively low, and this is going to be a guy, if you buy his stock right now, it's going to go up. Because Brooklyn, they need Ben Simmons. They still have KD, they still have Kyrie, and Ben Simmons is going to be in that Draymond role. And he's really going to flourish. He's going to be the screener on the pick and roll. He's going to be able to go downhill. He's going to play make for Kyrie and for KD. The game's going to open up for him. He's going to still be the defender that we know him as. He's one of the best defenders, if not the best defender in the league. Can guard 1 to 5. So don't sleep on Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is going to wake people up this year for Brooklyn. And honestly, this can be for another video, but Brooklyn is very much contenders and can very much win the NBA championship this year. Another guy that I'm actually excited to see, because I am a Warrior fan, is Moses Moody, the 6'6" wing coming into his second year for the Warriors. He did lead the Summer League in scoring this year, so that was very good news. That was a bright spot. And, you know, he just didn't get that much opportunity, obviously, because the Warriors were a championship team. But Moses Moody is a player that's going to have a bigger role hopefully next year. Like I said earlier with Jonathan Kuminga, they had the departures of Otto Porter, GP2, JTA, Damian Lee. So there's going to be more minutes for Moses Moody. He's a lottery pick. He has that scoring potential. Moses Moody can be a really good 3-and-D player. So watch out for Moses Moody. Buy his stock. There's definitely other players in this league that'll break out this year, but the guys that I just mentioned, I feel like will most likely will. And some of them are my favorite players, so I just wanted a platform to talk about them. So just let me be. But yeah, if you guys have any other players that you think will break out next year, or guys that I should buy stock into, leave a comment down below and let me know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please leave a like and subscribe. It will really help the channel grow. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.